video I will be sharing with you guys how you can use the new Cricut Infusible Ink transfer paper to show you guys how I can customize and personalize a t-shirt, even your very own coaster. And also I will be sharing with you guys how you can use the new Infusible Ink markers to create one-of-a-kind designs. And I'm so excited to partner up today with Cricut to share with you guys their new Infusible Ink transfer paper. So let's get started. The materials that you will need for these projects is the Easy Press heat plate, which is going to allow you to transfer on the ink along with any Cricut machine that you have. I have the Cricut Maker. I love it. It's super simple and easy to use. And the first project that we're going to do is this t-shirt. Let's open up Cricut Design Space, and what I'm going to do is insert an image, and I just went ahead and I searched summer and all these images came up, so I decided to go with this one because I thought it was really pretty. I really like the font, and once you insert it, you just want to make sure that it's adjusted to however big you want it on your t-shirt. I wanted it to be specifically this big. I went ahead and I kind of measured it out. You can also use a template, which helps you out if you are having trouble with it, but I just went ahead and I kind of measured it. And when you're ready, you can click on make it, and then you always want to make sure that the mirror tab is always clicked on. Next, we're going to go to browse all materials, and I'm going to type in Infusible Ink, which is going to allow the machine to get the settings that's necessary for it to cut out the correct paper. So I always like the reminder of what blade or what tool is necessary for the machine to have in order for you to begin your project. And once you kind of check this off, you can easily press start and begin cutting out your pattern. Once it is done cutting out, you want to make sure that you peel back the sticky mat as opposed to the paper, because you don't want that to crinkle or to make any creases, so you just want to be careful with that. And then you can also reuse the rest of the remaining of the paper. So I just went ahead and I cut a square around it, so that way I can just use this and then I could save the other for another project later on. And this is super easy to peel off as opposed to like the vinyl. I simply took out the negative space with my hand, but you could use tweezers if you like. So next we're going to go ahead and lay down the shirt, and I'm just putting this cardstock in between the pad and also the shirt. That way no ink transfers through and gets the pad with ink. It is also recommended to take a lint roller and go over your surface just to make sure that there's no lint on the shirt. That way it's an even transfer. Cricut has an online transfer guide which you can find on their website, and all I'm going to do is put the type of material that I'm using, which is a transfer sheet, along with the material that I'm going to be using, which is a t-shirt, and then it tells you exactly for how many seconds and how much heat to put onto the Easy Press machine. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. The first thing is I want to warm up the area for about 15 seconds before adding the design to make sure that it's nice and warm. Then I will go ahead and adjust where I'm going to be putting the design that I want. Each of the package transfer sheets come with butcher paper. That way you can protect whatever material you're going to be using. And then once you put in the amount of heat that's needed, you can go ahead and peel it off, and it is infused into the product. So this shirt you can wash, you can stretch, you could do anything that's necessary to wear this shirt on a daily basis, and it will not fade, it will not peel off. It's infused into the shirt. And that is the biggest difference with the Infusible Ink transfer paper. Next, let me share with you guys how you can customize your own coasters. These are specific to the Cricut Infusible Ink products, so you want to make sure that it does have that label on there so you know that it's compatible and that it's going to withstand the heat necessary for the ink paper to transfer over. For this decal, I went to dafont.com and downloaded the font Mocha, and that allowed for the designs to be on the side of the letter. Once you're ready to cut it out, click on Make It, make sure that your mirror mode is on, and then press Continue. And then it's going to go ahead and show you what exactly it is that you're going to be cutting. So you want to make sure to click on the material, and then I always just type in Infusible Ink to make sure that I'm using the correct cutting settings. Then you can go ahead and insert the Infusible Ink transfer paper inside, and it'll begin cutting it for you. And then once you are done, you want to remember that you want to peel off the mat off first instead of the paper off first. That way it doesn't crinkle on you. And I'm going to go ahead and separate the different kind of decals that I'm going to be using, because I'm going to be using them for two different things. So the first thing that I did is just simply take a dust rag and clean out the coaster, put down a butcher paper. I'm going to be using the heating settings appropriate for the coaster. So on the website, I just put Infusible Ink transfer sheet, and then I also put in the square coaster. That way it told you exactly how many seconds and at what heat setting you should have it on. And it also instructed to put a cardstock paper over that and then apply the easy press on top of that. And once you are done, you want to make sure that you definitely let this cool completely down, because it is extremely hot. These would totally make super cute gifts and will look so cute on your patio when you're by the pool. I just absolutely love these, and I think they turn out so cute. You can also make one-of-a-kind designs, and I'm going to show you what I did with this starfish coaster. So there's also Infusible Ink markers that is new to the Cricut line, and these are pretty cool. On the Cricut design space, I am going to start off by making the shape of the coaster. That way I know exactly how much that I need to cut off. I clicked on shapes, chose a square, and I measured it out to be around 3.8 inches, which is a little bit bigger than the coaster itself. Then I went on images and searched for starfish, and I really liked these at the bottom. They were so cute, and I love the different variety of starfish that they had. So next I'm going to go ahead and apply that to the square. If you look over on the right hand side, it's going to tell you what each line indicates, whether it's going to be cut out or drawn. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on all of the starfish shapes, and I'm going to click on draw. That way whenever I put in my marker, it's going to draw the shapes instead of cutting it out. And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to change the color of each one of those shapes so that I can choose different colors, and I can exchange the markers on there indicating which ones I want shaded a specific color, and then that way the Cricut machine knows when you need to switch them out. We are going to click on Make It, and a habit that you should always get into is to make sure that you click that mirror image, even though this one didn't really need it because it didn't have text, but you want to make sure that you click on it. The material that we're going to be inserting into the Cricut machine is just regular copy paper, so we're going to click on that. And this is just regular paper. It's not specific to Cricut. It's just anything that you would put in your printer pretty much. And you just want to make sure that it's a white sheet of paper so that way it transfers over. So I'm putting that into the machine, and then it's going to draw it out for you. So it will tell you which marker to put in first based on whatever color you chose. I chose raspberry, so that way it reminded me to put in the pink color. It's more of a guide for yourself, so that way you know what color to switch it out to. So once you insert it into the first clamp, then you can go ahead and start the machine, and it knows that it's only going to draw out the lines that you highlighted as pink. And it's going to do that with each one of the different colors. So I only have two colors here, so the next time that it stops, it's going to indicate that I need to switch out the color. So it'll prompt up on your machine, whether you have it on your iPad or on your desktop or laptop, and then I'll go ahead and I'll switch it out to the other color that I wanted and continue with that. Now, if you can tell, in the Cricut Maker there is a second clamp, and that one already has the blade on there. So I'm not sure if with other machines you have to switch it out, but this one does have to, so that way I didn't have to. It already is installed, so all it did was once it was done, it just continued to cut it out in the square, and then it's ready for you to apply onto the coaster. Make sure that you don't rip the paper, and always peel the sticky mat first. That way it's a lot easier. And I wanted to customize this a little bit more. There was a lot of white space, but I wanted it to look like sand or like speckles, or I'm not sure. I just wanted to add more to it. So I went ahead and I just started drawing on it. This is a great project for children if you want them to draw a picture and then you can transfer that picture somewhere else. I think that's really cool. So what I'm going to do now is put in the heating mat and then also butcher paper, and then I'm going to be using the coasters that are specifically for the Infusible ink. Wipe it down with the cloth, and then I'm going to put my drawing on top of that. Now you could use tape if you'd like. I didn't have heat resistant tape, so I'm just going to make sure that I do a really good job and make sure that it stays in place by being careful with it. And then I'm going to go ahead and look up at the settings on the heating instructions online, and then I'll just go ahead and start. Once again, you want to make sure that it cools down completely before you take it off because it's extremely hot. And once it cools down, you have your very own personalized coaster. I think these projects are so cute. I love them so much. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you guys want to continue to see these projects. That is all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Muchos besos. Mwah!